Okay, is it better? There's some hissing, right? I don't know if it's my headphones or the actual audio. Hey, Purple. Hey, Spectre. Looks like it's my headphones then. Hey, could it? Good. So yeah, I went today and paid the other half, and they're gonna be delivered hopefully tomorrow. I haven't talked enough about the actual books. I talked a lot about the box, but not the inside of the books. It's they're really good. I just held them last night, and skimmed through them, and because I saw them while they're printing, but I didn't see the end result, and I'm really impressed by how they look. And first things first, Jay, thanks a lot again for all the proofreading, the fast proofreading, and yeah, it's just really good. I'm just so proud of it, and I can't be just proud of it because of the printer or all the work I put in. You put in a lot of work in proofreading it as well. I want to say that I want to like put it up for sale tomorrow, even today, like for pre-orders or stuff. The only problem is I've been in the talks with the post office about the printing. Like, I want to... Okay, the music is too loud in my ears, so it's been distracting. Yes, we are talking about their prints. Yeah. I wanted to put it for sale, but the problem is I've been in the talks with the post office, the local post office, for a new deal, and like... seriously, do we still have to go to the office and fill in the forms and everything? And I've been talking back and forth with them, and we got into an agreement. Like, there is a thing where I can put in all the info to their system from my office, and someone will come and pick it up and stuff. They sent me the contract, I signed it. The prices aren't that like cheap, but still, it's cheaper than DHL, definitely. Especially with the shocking email that I got from DHL saying that, oh, there will be a new general increase. There is this general increase, annual price increase. Every year, it increases by 4%. Yeah, 4%. The price. But due to, gas prices and blah, 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 and we bought 7 new airplanes, the general increase is going to be 8%, 8.9 actually. So it's 9%. I'm like, seriously? So I was already looking into another option, and this pushed me stronger into that direction. The problem is I got another email today from the local post office saying that, yeah, but you can't pay once a month. You gotta pay every time you ship out, and that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous service if they're gonna go down that route. So I have to do a phone call, and today I was at the printer, so I didn't have the mood. After a week of being with my niece as well, I didn't have the mood to make any calls, to be honest. So tomorrow morning, hopefully. I'm gonna look into another company, but I don't want to work with that guy again because I worked with him 2 years ago when I wanted to like look into shipping companies, and I didn't like him, so I'm gonna probably ask, like, I want a sales representative or like an account manager, but I don't want that guy and name him by name. What a flex, I know, right? They bought 7 new airplanes and we have to pay for it? That's, I mean, dude. So yeah, I'm really excited to put them up for sale, especially that, for those who don't know what Jay just mentioned about finishing off last chapters today, she's talking about volume 6. I am going ahead and I already finished working on volume 5, 6, and 7 for new reprints. 7 is still, like, I don't know what we're gonna do there. But yeah, box set number 2 is coming as well. So we're working on that. I'm very excited because 5 and 6 are already, 5 is already sold out. 6, I have a few copies left. 7 is 7. That's the problem. I was talking to my best friend. I was telling her, like, the problem is 7 is 7. Like, if all the books get a new look, or not a new look, a new caring, 7 should be the one to have that. So we're still thinking about we. When I say we, it's me. I'm just getting used to saying we with people, because when I say me, they don't take me seriously. So it's funny when I get a call, a business call, I'm like, let me talk to my partners. And there are no partners. No, it's not that we have to bear the cost, but that was kind of what it sounded like. Like, when you start an email with, we usually have a general increase in price every year by 4%, and now it's 8%, and then you end it by, we bought 7. Oh no, sorry, I think they started with the 7 airplanes thing, and then they saw that there is a general increase because of gas prices, which is very fair. Gas prices is ridiculous all over. I'm paying double to fill up my car. It sounded royal? No, please, I don't want to sound royal, but yeah. I hate that I have to play roles to be taken seriously. And I hate when people know that I'm a serious person, they still don't take me seriously, so... the state of the world, especially that I think I'm a woman, maybe. Who knows? I don't like to put that label, but I've been feeling it more and more ever since my dad died, because he was my right hand, and now my right hand hurts. So, when the box set is gonna release, I don't know. But yeah, the box is really nice. The books are really nice. I want to do a video about that. I want to do a video about Volume 1 specifically. But yeah, I don't know when I'll do that. I am revamping the shop as well. I have the theme and all set up, but I do have to take some photos and make some promo art, or not promo art, marketing, promotional banners for the slider. God, he was a great guy. He'd drive you crazy, but he was really unique. And I'm not talking about that because he's my father. I am writing a lot of stories that happened throughout my life with him, and stories that I heard from my mother and from him, because I started this while he was alive, and we used to talk. He told me stories and I would record them. But so yeah, I wouldn't make a story if it's not an interesting character, and he was an interesting character. on the other stream of someone saying thank you for publishing such an amazing story. They came from the clippings. I don't know if they will appear here as well. Yeah, that's nice. These comments, maybe somebody would take them lightly, but they do mean a lot to me because it's been around 3 years, not 2, 3 years, I'm going to say 2 years, where I feel like a lot of what I'm doing is pointless, but I'm just on autopilot. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not allowing myself to think about it. So when these comments come, they kind of remind me that, yeah, it matters to others. What about Volume 1? I want to make a video about Volume 1 if I still feel like it by the time I'm done. Who is most like him? The characters, I mean? Like my father? None, I think. I don't know. If I end up putting it out there and you read it, you can do that. I don't know. I just see him as him, I think. Thank you, Alpha. I recognize you. You're on Twitter as well, right? Now I just read the royal we, like we speaking on the behalf of country. Yeah, I got that, but it's just funny when I think about it. I'm gonna give you a teaser for a drawing that I'm gonna share eventually. I sketched it, but I didn't line it and stuff and finalize it because I have problems with drawing myself. But I was asked recently, like, how do you deal with haters? And I'm like, there's nobody who's a hater more than me to myself, so get in line or do some good. So haters don't really shake me. I'm more shaken by me being misunderstood more than being hated. The other one is really easy to deal with. So yeah, I don't think I would use we as a royal we, as a king or something. Lazu on Discord, yeah. Hey, welcome. The quiet is distinctive, yeah. Greyis has haters. I have haters. Not haters. I can't. I want to say haters, but again, what they say is like very mild. I'm more baffled by some people's logic more than their hate or. I don't get it sometimes. Like, sometimes, like, this is not a hater's comment, but I'm more fascinated by someone putting up a comment or asking a weird question. I'm more fascinated by what did they expect me to answer, more than, oh, they angered me or pissed me off or something. If I ever use we, it would refer to the village in my head, which I have animated discussions with. Well, that's admirable. I like that. They're dislikers. They're people who have a lot of time in their hands, I think. Like when somebody comments, why is everyone in your story sad or self-centered or like... When you ask the question, like, it's just I'm thinking of the psychology of humans in general. Is it when there is a question, you're probably expecting an answer. When you ask such a question, what's the E? Like, what are you expecting me to say? Read the story. I was liberated. This is one of the reasons I love Volume 7 as a whole, for many reasons. You all know that, those who read it. But one of the things I love about it, that I got liberated from all the comments that people ask me when it comes to Black and White's relationship. Because if somebody asks me what is the relationship between them, or they don't look friends, or this looks like BL or whatever, I can tell them, like, go read the story. You'll find all the answers there. So Lana, thank you. I know you don't like me, but thank you. She made my job way easier. Hey, FM. A beautiful... Well, thank you. I don't know about that, but thank you. And the accent changes a lot. You'll notice that. I don't know. I do a lot of voices and a lot of accents all the time because it's not my first language, so you're in for a ride if you become a long-time viewer. And if I stream for that long anyway. The dislikes is more from my region, to be honest. Not my country, even. More like the region. There's a lot of people who are... They're not dislike us. There are a lot of supporters, but the people who don't like me and my work are louder, I think. And they always hang around in the private and the DMs and the annons behind these things. I'm like, can somebody just... be bold, speak to me. I'll speak back. Hey, Shaden and Farah. Some people can't fathom having a soulmate who happens to be a friend rather than a lover. Yep. And it's funny because when I see people's reactions to stories, or they're always complimenting, like, the romance stories or action stories or whatever it is, somehow you always find people talking about very side relationships, like a person and his father, or a person, like, we are very much in need of platonic and friendship relationships. Anyhow, I should start working. Find me outside. Yeah, definitely. Like, somebody sent me an email about the clipping of Black and White, who blushed first. And if you sent me a public comment, maybe I would have replied. But sending me an email, I mean, there are very important emails from people I like or from businesses I want to collaborate with that I put on the shelf for months. Your attempt to reach out to me in that way is very much appreciated, because it was nicely written, to be honest, but read the whole story. Don't comment on one clipping. Privately. Yeah, we have 6 viewers. Anyway, let me line. So yeah, we have 38 days left for the anniversary, and there's nothing planned but this clipping. The thing is, I get a lot of people where they come from when they send me, but I think the approach, and it would be nice for people to just... I read the whole story, I have this. Like, I was thinking of making this video by the end of the year about everything that I've consumed this year, because I've consumed a lot of things. And even the things that I hated, I found some things good things to say, because I was writing every time I finish a game or a TV show. I would write some notes, and I can't say, like, there's always something good somewhere. But I'm just done with people assuming things and reaching out to me, wanting to just address this assumption of theirs. Like, you don't know me, man. And it's sad that those people are more vocal than the people who actually like the work. It's kind of sad, to be honest, when I think about it. Like, if I posted a clipping, or not a clipping, let's go with the main story. If I posted a page, I post 5 pages of a very important scene and no comments come. And then I get a notification that there's a comment, and I check it, and it's someone saying that the page is missing or there's a typo or whatever. And like, is that the only thing that gets you motivated to write a comment? Hey, I was talking about the box set and how happy I am with the printing. Why did it go into a rant fest? It's a good time. Nice to hear your voice. Thank you. Your random YTube. Your random YT videos, like one where you showed what tabs you have open, are fun. That's good to hear. What about the fan art showcase? Like greyis anniversary, here are some fan works. That's a great idea. The ones that like it are taking everything in and being depressed, making analysis. Well, yeah, but still, I understand people take things in silently. I understand that there's a lot of people who don't share opinions or are shy or are hesitant to share their opinion, but I sure don't enjoy being social. But here I am. We can all get out of our comfort zone, maybe. Yeah, I appreciate that. I guess I just fueled my own very stale kind of anger. I don't want to say anger, but dissatisfaction with the state of things when it comes to the series. Do you enjoy when you draw? Yeah, that's the thing that keeps me going. The stream comments do make up for it. You being here really makes up for it, so thank you. I don't wanna... It's tricky to talk about when a creator is dissatisfied with the state of their followers. It's very hard to talk about it because you would sound unappreciative to the people who actually put in effort to interact and show love. And so you end up not talking about it, but at the same time, you want to talk about it because a good relationship needs transparency and honesty, I think. I want to keep reading and see an end to the story of Black and White. I'd like that as well. There is nothing I am I have nothing but creating this story and art in general. So never question that never question my feelings in regards to it. No matter what people say or no matter what people don't say, won't really affect that. I lost relationships that were very intertwined with this story throughout the years, and it leaves me with a sense of an identity crisis in a way. But doesn't affect what I feel towards it. Just the idea of sharing it maybe sometimes gets into this idea of, why am I bothering with this perfectionism? Not perfectionism, but like doing everything the best I could. And for what? That's what I get sometimes. But I like how the YouTube streams are bringing in new viewers and some new recurring. Yeah, I kind of feel bad about switching platforms because I bet some people don't get the news, are still left in the dark of where I went in regards to streaming. And not gonna lie, Twitch has a better discoverability, higher discoverability rate in comparison with YouTube, and it's easier to set up a lot of things when it comes to bots and mods and all that. But I don't think that Twitch is the platform for me. These ears are very... Like, yeah, here's an example of a thing like where I was more fascinated by the person who sent me the email more than being affected with it emotionally. Somebody sent me about Volume 9's cover, and I think I told the story before. They sent me about like Volume 7. I love the story, I love the book. And Volume 7, when I released it, throughout the year I was working on it, it was very lonely. All my friends were busy with their things and nobody was reading the stories as I publish them, and there was no Discord. I don't think I had I had a Patreon actually, and there were no people interacting with the posts. So it was very like lonely time, and I released the book and it was even lonelier. Nobody is talking about it. Few people are talking about it. Like in comparison to the sales, I'm not getting any feedback, and it's Volume 7. It's a milestone in regards to the story. And then I got this email about a person telling me that, oh, I love the book and all that, but there was something that was bugging me about the cover. I love it, but there was something that is bugging me. And then I realized after much stirring, it's White's ears. They're placed wrong. They're higher than they should be. And that's annoying, which is okay, fair. You have a critique. Thank you. I'll keep it in mind. And I did fix that when I revisited Volume 7 now. The funny thing is, they sent that email 3 times at different times. Like, there were lots of time in between each email. So my question was, why? Why are you sending me about a book that is already printed and out? What do you want me to do? You want me to reprint the jacket and send it to you? You want me to send you like, yay, thank you, you got my mistake, I'm gonna fix it for you. You're gonna, I don't know. It's just, I get this, like, why? Again, this is the mental state I get into when some comment that leaves me going, what would make you send that? What are you expecting to get back from me? Maybe because that's how I live my whole life. When somebody tells me something good, bad, whatever, I'm always wondering what's the right or proper reaction Sometimes I get it because I've seen other people react that way. Sometimes I don't get it and I wing it and I do well or do bad. It's a game. I don't know why I think greyis ending would be like those end for a new start endings or no full endings at all. I almost grew up with those two boys. Yeah, I did too. It's been too long, man. When I think about it, I had a pet who came in and died, and they were there. It's been too long. I remember the times when you'd get stream raids. Yeah, it's there are a lot of artists that I like, people who I follow and they follow me back on Twitch. But for some reason the platform just, I didn't feel comfortable there. Don't you wish you could help them scratch that itch on the inside of their brain? Like, how? Ask them what makes you ask that? Pork. I mean, to be honest, there is this part of me that is lazy, that doesn't have time or mood to reply. But more than that, it's just that I'm terrible socially. I'm very, very terrible. So I really don't know how to reply to things. That's why I'm just sitting there staring at the wall like, what would make someone say that? What are they expecting from me? I don't know. Too much energy is being wasted on this. Let's draw. Black hair is all whoosh and cute. Thank you. So yeah, I'm excited about doing longer streams with gaming breaks. They will just be gaming, as in me farming for a certain element to sell and get more money to level up my character. Right now, in Moonlighter. In the future, it will be something else. The answers, the questions of the question. Yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is, they won't see it that way, because I try. That's been my whole life, even in school. Somebody would do something strange to me, and I would go and ask them, why did you do that? I want to learn. Why did you do that? What was the proper reaction in this? And they would take it as me getting defensive or being a smart pants. What's the better word than the other word? Do you know Coral Island? It looks like Harvest Moon. I haven't played Harvest Moon. I don't know Coral Island. I'm liking Moonlighter and all the grinding in Moonlighter because nobody is asking me to grind or to get something. I'm more angry about very boring and very demanding NPCs asking me stuff, more than me wanting to get out and get stuff. I guess we play our characters in video games. And then when you learn, why don't you wish you didn't know? I don't understand where to put that line in which conversation. Also, I feel like there is no lag at all, which is very exciting. Netflix is doing this thing now where you can get games with your subscription, and Moonlighter is one of them. Really? And this other indie game that sounds interesting called Oxenfree. People say it's underrated. I want to play all my purchased. I have Moonlighter. I think I took a screenshot. I have Moonlighter, and then I have greyis. I don't know if you spell the S or not. Grey. And I have another game. It's the longest game ever because it counts 400 actual days. So I don't know. I think I heard about it and I just bought it. I know nothing about it. So that's another game I want to play. I want to finish all the games on my Steam and then finish Final Fantasy Remake and then check whatever I have on Switch. I want to finish all the games that I already bought. And then I want to buy Lone Survivor. It's a horror game, 2D, pixel art that I know nothing about, but these things. But why people make an issue with you, I mean. Oh, so, and then when you learn, why don't you wish you didn't know? The problem is, I think I'm approaching it wrong by wanting a specific answer when every person is different and every reaction is different, and I want a set of... Like, I want a manual that says, when you say this, do this. When they say this, do this. But it's not the case. So I just retreat and draw again. Do the lag test. Write test when you hear this. Have I ever tried to draw manhwa? What do you mean? I think it may be time for me to play Undertale soon. I can't replay that game. What's it called? Test. There is a bit of lag. Like 20. The usual 15 to 20 seconds. What is the name of the game? I could open my Steam account, but I'm not gonna do that. So, I'll send it on Discord later. Remake is like that meme. Yeah, well actually, I think I might... I don't know, it has a problem with pacing or something. I don't know what's the problem with Final Fantasy. I'm stalling, by the way, I'm not lying, because it's gonna... the prayer, the Maghrib prayer, sunset prayer, is gonna be in time soon, so I'll leave to pray and then come back in line. But yeah, Final Fantasy 7, I want to play it. Like, I really hope that I would get motivated or find playing games online or while live streaming is fun, so that I would be motivated enough to finish the game. I want to finish it, but I'm not connecting with it. It's annoying how much I'm not connecting with it. Where is my... Wait. I can find the game while we're waiting. Hey, damn. Do I have Steam on my laptop? I do have Steam on my laptop. Do I remember the password for my laptop? Not for my laptop, for my Steam account. Hey, I do remember the password for my Steam account. So, the game's name is The Longing. Oh yeah, so I have greyis, Moonlighter, Omori, The Longing. These are the games that I have to. And I hope Deltarune doesn't get any episodes released before I finish these. Let's help Dee finish her games. Yeah, I know, right? Cloud's dance performance is everything. I haven't reached that part yet. I'm still in chapter 6, maybe. I think. Does it not have enough soul in the remake? I mean, the original is full of soul, but I do have Daniel's very objective point of view. I can get into a game expecting nothing, even if it's a remake. I did it like it wasn't a remake, but I did it with Final Fantasy 15. I get into it knowing that it's not the same as the one that was advertised 10 years prior, and I was so when I fell in love with it, I know all the tricks to get my mind into a game and love it for what it is. But and I love Cloud a little too much. I love him, but I don't know what's the problem. I think the problem is the personalities, other than the pacing, the personalities that are really endearing in pixel art are so off-putting as realistic, semi-realistic, full-bodied characters. The graphics are really good, the characters look good, but like Tifa, no, her character doesn't work with her looks. And I don't know. Yeah. When I was waiting for the dress reveal, I was literally... I don't remember that part because I kind of deleted it from my mind back then when I played the original game, because I don't like... we all are like that, but I do take stories a little bit seriously, and I take characters too seriously. So I was too uncomfortable with Cloud being uncomfortable with his cosplay or whatever it was, cross-dressing, or I don't remember. So yeah, it's like when a character you love does something embarrassing and you have second-hand embarrassment. Are we helping Dee finish something reluctantly? I said spoon feeding instead of bowl feeding. Spoon feeding. I'm a very fast eater. Longing, as in God's dad. Jing. It's like Studio Ghibli. It's Ghibli, it's Jing. But then in English it becomes Ging and becomes Ghibli. I've never heard of The Longing before, but I love... Is it Gree or Grease? Or Gree... Or Grease? Or... what is it? Is Daniels uselessly objective? Uselessly? How are you uselessly objective? It's a skill. Being that objective is a skill. And people usually don't believe that you can be that objective. Gris, but with a French accent. Gris? Gris? How do you pronounce Greece? Greece. Greece.
Greece.
Greece, no. Is it actually grey? Is it the word for grey? I've seen it with Greece spelling. What? Why did I know that? Why did nobody tell me about that? Is the game really called Grey and I... like, it just... What? Dude. There you go, motivation. We're gonna finish Moonlighter quicker and start playing Grey. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But it's giving me... So, Grey in French. Dude, I didn't know.
Gris.
Gris. Okay.
Gris.
Why are you muffled there? Gris. Okay. That's not why I picked it up. I picked it up because I probably heard that it's good. That's how I pick up games. That's what happened with Omori. That's what happened with The Longing, probably. I follow a lot of people who talk about video games and psychology, or the psychology of video games or psychology of gamers, stuff like that. So a video would start and the analyst would, or the creator would say, don't let me spoil it for you. Go play it and come back. So I add to watch later, I buy it. And then we forget about it. Both the video and the game. Or, no, I bought it in Steam. If it was on my phone, I would tell you that I just saw it on the App Store and I thought it has good art. Anyhow, get up to pray, drink water, and then I'll actually finish some lining. How about that? We streamed for 48 hours, 48 minutes, and I only lined this. Nobody would believe me when I say I'm fast. No, it didn't distract me. I'm kind of surprised that I'm talking after being drained by my niece. Anyhow, going to pray, water, and we'll be back. What's it called? Let's mute. So, what did I miss? Niche 1D0. No, I didn't hug my brother. Eventually. I ran away like the wind. I guess I wasted. I consumed all the energy I have. Hello, what's good? Hey. Sorry if I missed you, Riri. Thanks for coming. He's taking a short break to pray and water herself. Yeah, I took a quick shower. If someone values their subjective or neutral lifestyle, providing an objective view to them would be pointless. I think it shows in Daniel's interaction with his relatives. Well, he did weigh in his own opinion when it came to chapter 55, so he's objective when you need him to be. He can be that objective. Like, imagine when the first time White came in and he's like, I want to talk to you. Not as who you are, not as what you work as, just as a person who would challenge my thoughts. He was up for the challenge, regardless of what he knows about White and White's past and White's life. I do want to be reborn. I don't believe in reborn. I don't believe in reincarnation, but yeah, I would love to be. If it was a thing, it would be nice to be a tree. Just any tree, tea. Because, yeah, trees do so much without doing anything. They just stand in place and they provide shade, they provide beauty, they provide good weather, they help in the environment. Yeah. Hey, Mary. Until Maria? I love saying run like the wind, yeah. Run like the wind. I am joking, but you're not dumb. Oh, hey! Welcome for coming in, and do send her my regards. Do thank her for the donation, which I didn't set up. I didn't set up any donations for the streams. It just Streamlabs acted on its own while I was configuring stuff. So, how about align a little, align this part, and then I'll check the chat, answer any questions. If you find any hard-hitting questions, do ask me. Challenge me and my thoughts about that. I hold the right to plead the fifth. Is it the fifth? And just not answer? Before I start, favorite character dynamic? Something that isn't cliched, something is convincing. It could be cliched, but if it's convincing, I will take it. Dynamic. I don't think I like a certain dynamic. I like good, convincing relationship in that works well in the setting with the theme and isn't trying to prove something or not prove something. Like, it's not, the writer is not hiding behind it to send an agenda or something. The result shows that the objective view doesn't do it for White, though, as seen when White's musing with Danny versus Blackie. I had to soften both of their names because I love them together. Who knows if it doesn't, if it does it for White or not? It was his wish, and Danny gave him his. It was Danny's command. Do you like listening to music? Do you prefer soft or loud music? I love soft music. It depends on the mood I'm in and the art I'm lining, because when I'm sketching, I don't really feel the music or hear the music. It's just background noise. I love post-rock instrumental music a little too much, more than the rest. Okay. God, mono are so good. It's mono, right? Just to make sure. Yeah, mono. Ashes in the snow. Right, that's wrong. Again. Okay, I was thinking about Daniel's method being useless, but his intentions seep through to White, and that definitely contributes to progress in White's journey to genuinely feel again. Tell me more. This is cool, and I also like music, and I prefer the quit type music. I'm curious if you get inspired to write other stories other than greyis, like other projects. Yeah, I do a lot. I get a lot of ideas, and I tried in 2016 to write other stories on the side, but I knew that it's like a different mindset, completely different mindset. And just like I was talking about video games earlier, and I could come up with a schedule to play like a different game every day, or an hour for each game in a day or something. But it's just the emotional investment kind of hard to move from one direction. I could, if I have to, like if I want a contest to participate in a contest, or like write something, like when I draw Frankly events or something. I think I can do something like Frankly events because it's illustration based storytelling rather than a manga. So yeah, I do get inspired. I try to write them down, but most of the time, nah. Or not most of the time, nah. It's more when I think about it, like putting it on paper and committing to it, like I do with greyis. It's like nah, that's better. I was searching about Arab manga creators and found about you and greyis. Welcome, Noro. I hope you liked what you found. I get new story ideas all the time and end up hyper-fixating and missing on life, so I don't work on them. Then later, when I finally have time, I don't feel like writing them anymore. Well, do write ideas, don't lose your ideas, because ideas are so fleeting. If you don't put them down, they're just gonna travel and disappear completely. While hyperfixating, I can relate. That's totally me, but I don't think I miss out on life. I like to think that I keep it balanced. It's not healthy to hyperfixate on anything. This is a panel I'd drawn before in another clipping and didn't use, so I love this panel. Let's see. Did we lose who? Spectre and Farah. Those I remember. They just dropped off the stream. Does greyis have physical releases? It does. I hope the commands will work. I did add commands like the ones on Twitch, so shop should work. Thank you, Shaden. Thank you. In the shop section, the first volumes will be available again pretty soon. They're getting reprints and fancy new collector's books. Yes. Does it work? The exclamation mark shop should work. Daniel and White both rationalize feelings to navigate better in their lives. Does Daniel do that though? How do you know that? But each of them wants something different from doing that, hence Daniel can't figure out a counter for White's argument. You could base that off of his monologue in chapter 31, I think. But we haven't seen him in action, really. There, yeah, the commands work, apparently. ممكن أجاوب سؤالكم الصعب بحالة العربية لأن أغلب متفرجين أجانب صوت. I had to make sure what did I write back then for the command. Arabic, it's just, it's not translation, it's just me saying why I'm not talking about, so from here on out, if anybody asks if I should talk in Arabic or why I'm not talking in Arabic, you could just use this command for them to answer them. Jad heard the jump. Yeah, haven't you read this? Wasn't this released on the website? This special chapter? Oh well, everybody is doing better job than me translating what Nightbot's command was. Were we happier when we were kids? Yeah. I always thought if I ever had a proper talk about greyis, that's what I actually want at this point. For somebody to invite me to talk about greyis, not to talk about greyis, not just ask the same questions over and over again. So if anybody, I imagined if there was a talk, I would start by a reading, and I will read Were We Happier When We Were Kids piece from White. It tells enough because the monologue of greyis is vague, and the planets piece is too hopeful or too like. But I think the one about the being happier as kids gives you the feeling of what the story is about. Yay, it worked. Good. The lag is so long. I had done the test before you asked if it worked. What? That long? Oh my god. Do write chat when you hear this. Whoa. Okay, it's 24 seconds lag. So if something dangerous happens, something good or bad happens, you'll know after 24 seconds. Sorry. That means if something good happens or bad and I tweeted it out, people on Twitter will know before people who are actually live or should be live with me. Shit. I'll find more words, 3-letter words. It would be better. Or maybe numbers next time. Type in 7 when you hear this. It is 24. At least it's consistent. "24 seconds lag." Before COVID, I was invited by an Italian company to go attend a local convention, comics convention. It was the deal of... It was like the best thing that happened to me. Because it was actually on November 30th, and they are gonna bring me over and to Italy of all places. And I can sell my stuff, and I could meet publishing companies there. Not big ones, but one that would print indie creators. That was in 2019, so it was in November 30th, 2019, and then the whole world collapsed. Magnet is real, man. Do you think you'll ever go back on to selling on conventions? I hear stalls are really expensive these days, but maybe it depends on the con. Well, stalls are expensive, and money is the last thing I think about when I think about these things, to be honest. And not because I have money, but it's because when I want something, I'm gonna do it. It's about the want more than all the challenges that I will meet. I stopped wanting to do that, not because of anything more than the biggest one in the region were really, really, really bad the last time I went. And it was more stressful and more like, imagine that I arrived there, I paid for $400 for a table, a 1-meter table, and I reached there is no table, there is no chair, only my table. They didn't have any table or any chair. My sister was coming with me. Amy, my friend, was coming with me. Each had their table and their passes and their chairs. Mine was in the middle, and there was no table. Throughout the first day. Not throughout. Till midday, I think. Not to mention all the it was a lot of things on top of one another that kept me that made me realize that it's not my place there. I'm pretty sure it's way better now, because the last time I went was in 2016, I think, and I would be there. I remember the last book I sold there was volume 7, and I would stand there after worrying about so much, like the hotel, the shipping, the books, the shipping for the books, because I have a lot of books. And I reached there is no table, about setup, the poster, all that. It was nice to see the people, all the love, but overall, to be there and deal with all this stress and the Artist Alley is a good place to meet fans and for people in the business and in the industry to come there and see other people. But what happened is, I would be in the Artist Alley. I am quote-unquote this so-called first Arab manga artist by a lot of people. That's what they say. I don't agree. There are many manga creators before me, but for some reason they use that in articles. But still, I don't get an invitation, and I sit in the Artist Alley next to people. Like, I have lots of books, hoping to reach out a lot of people, and people stopped going to the Artist Alley because it's full of fan art. It's full of even one artist told me that she saw a girl selling a sketchbook with a lot of my art in it the following year when I didn't go. So it was, I just felt it's not my place there anymore. I don't think much of myself, but everybody around me told me that I have to know my place, even though I don't see my place. If it was just that issue, I would have gone again, because, as I said, I don't see my place, but I don't care about my place, to be honest. I care about a story that I want to put out. But the money and the shipping and the stress and the people and a lot of rumors and bad things said about me for whatever reason, I felt like, yeah, I'm gonna take everybody's word and just know my place, not in the way that they say, but in the way I see it. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to be vague because, yeah, I ranted enough, I guess. لبسوا الأجزاء. I don't really get what you're asking, Noro. مش كتير فاهمة إيش سؤالك، نورو. This is a very good song. One of the best experiences I had was from a guy who came at the very last day, the last time I was there, and he kept staring at my art. I was packing up, like putting stuff in my bag and whatever's left. And he kept staring at my art, and then he said that your art has this innocent in it. If it's full of nostalgia. When I look at it, I feel good and stuff like that. And it was very rewarding. I still remember it. I gave him the bookmark, Cherished Silence. I also met an editor in Image Comics. He took volume 1. I wish he would take the better one now. And he said that he sent me an email later, and he told me that he read it in the airplane and it reminded him of Nana, the manga. It's like Nana but with guys. That guy was the one that told me about the innocence and nostalgia. He then kept looking, and he's like, weren't you with this so-and-so magazine once? There's just this one magazine that translated my work to Arabic, and they did a very, very, very lousy job, which turned me off from anybody translating my work ever, because if I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, I would say that they used Google Translate to translate the work. And that's me being generous with my doubt, with my benefit. I mean, so I was like, yeah, we did work together. And he's like, I wonder why did he, or why did the owner, why did the magazine stop working with you after all? It doesn't look like what they say. And I'm like, what do they say? And turned out that back then, when I saw the bad translation, I told them that I'm not going to continue with you. You're not doing a good job. Like, it was nicely, because I was very, very agreeable back then. I just told them that, yeah, I don't want to continue this translation thing, and yeah, best of luck and stuff. But then, like, 3 years later, I realized that he's been spreading this idea. A guy who works for the magazine, he was spreading this idea that they let me go because my story was, I don't know, had an agenda or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to say it in English, or how to explain what he said. I think this wasn't the last year. Yeah, it was the year before the last, because the last year I did something about it. Yeah, so he was like, we let her go because her story doesn't align with the magazine's vision. It has an agenda against the magazine's vision and blah, blah, blah. And like, no, mate, I was telling the guy, like, no, actually, I let them go because of the lousy translation job they did. And that was that. The following year, I went there, and I had this, like, when I heard that, I got angry, and I just put it in a box and closed the door until the right time comes to unleash my replies. So, the following year, I remember I went with my sister and my two friends, and one of my two friends were sick, so they stayed at the hotel the night before the convention starts, while my sister and I went to the convention place to check our places, take the passes and all that. We like that night. We always make sure to go a days before the convention so we can see the place while they're setting up for it. We go there, we see the places. I'm sitting on a table, and then I hear someone calling me, and I turn around, and I figured out from the voice who's that, and I knew that it's the guy who the other guy told me he was spreading this thing about my story. And he came like, Diana sensei, or D sensei, I don't remember. He uses sensei. And with a straight face. I didn't say anything. I didn't greet him back. I just said, "Are you spreading this, and this about the story and how this whole thing unfolded between us?" And that was quite the sight, the change in face he had. So he started like trying to give excuses, and he asked me like, "Do you want an apology?" Or I'm like, "No, I don't need an apology. I don't need any public statement. What's done is done. I just wanted to tell you in your face that I heard about it. Thank you very much, man." I think this is the first time I talk about it. I only talked, like, even my friends, I told them about it maybe 2 years ago or something. Nana by Yazawa Ai, yes. Yes. But wait, there are other messages up. I don't understand people who go out of their way to hate on someone. Like, if you don't like someone, just stay away from them. Yeah, 100%, eh? That's exactly it. Like, I used to give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt. I would say that I'm just a disappointment to a lot of people because I came into this, like, public eye as the person who's doing this long series and all that. And I'm like, it's pretty disappointing that I'm doing this kind of story, not this big blockbuster or this very good action manga or fantasy manga or this, not even romance, just action or fantasy. So I came out as a disappointment to a lot of people. So I'm fine with that, but just crawl in my DMs. And the funniest thing is when people send me messages and I don't reply, they send me all the love in a DM, like I'm the greatest person ever. And when I don't reply, they start preaching about being humble and answering other people. And this I see after, like, I probably, or I sometimes see it like a few days after they send it, but most of the time I check my DMs on Instagram and Twitter like once every month or something. I'm letting it all out, huh? Regarding the convention rent, know your place, convention organizers. No, I know my place. My place is in my room, doing this. I could, if I want socials, I could stream. That's about it. I knew my place. Conventions aren't my place. The new editions, I hope he or another editor will discover them. Yeah, I was thinking that, as I said before, that I would love to go to Japan, but I don't have a motivation. I was telling my mother the other day that, yeah, I want to go to Japan, but if I was really smart, business-wise, and I'm not, I would do better booking a flight to the US or Canada and go check publishers and show them my work. I couldn't get into... I still haven't. Lucy told me a lot about it. Told me to check it out, but I still haven't. Still haven't. Little Grey assemble. We gotta fight them. I think I did pretty okay. It feels good, man, when you fight your own fights. Thank you, though. I appreciate that, T. I meant, do you upload the chapters? Do you publish chapters as parts? Or, for example, finish 7 chapters and then publish it at first part? Well, I do. I publish in pages. On Webtoon, I publish in scenes, probably. Whatever makes sense. I work in books. I think about it as a book. Even as a whole arc. And then keep zooming in. I start with the whole story and then the arc and then the book or the number of books and then the book and then the chapters and then the pages. Actually, I let you go. Yeah, 100%. That's it. It's not me, it was you. I just wanted you to know. I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I always need. Yeah, I just like to keep things clear. I feel better with the clarity. I just know. Don't do anything. I just know what you did. Or just know that I did this. Goes both ways, not just not just people making mistakes. Even when I do make a mistake or something, I like to think you get inspiration firsthand for stuff that could happen to Black. I always say that it's funny. I always say that I do, like, I don't get that much hate, but we can say it's like once a month I get some questionable DM or questionable remark or questionable comment, and I always tell my sister, like, of course, when there is like an event or a convention back then, or like these days it's better because I'm not in the public eye, but back when I blew up to this 90K on Instagram, there was a lot of things, and I had a lot of platforms. Like, I was on Facebook, I was on Instagram, I was everywhere and active everywhere. So I would get a lot of not hate, let's call them questionable, strange messages. And I would always tell my sister, like, I don't get it because I'm not known. If I was not, like, it's very understandable when you're very known to get this and this, but it's always like I'm just living a life of a known person without really being known. So it's kind of unfair sometimes, it feels. I don't know, unfair to who or not to who, unfair by who, but it's just that what bugs me more than anything. Like, I shouldn't be dealing with this when I shouldn't be dealing with one part of being known. But yeah, I follow a lot of documentaries, and like I read a lot of articles from famous people, child stars and stuff, and I'm fascinated by that, and that's what seeps through Black's arc as a person, as a famous person. It's just mind-blowing for me that people... Like, I understand if someone is famous for being a public person and they're sharing all their life. If something happened in their personal life which they publicized, it's fine to address that. But if I'm famous for being... I remember this happened once, yeah. I remember there was once a rumor about Makoto Shinkai having an affair or something. It was very strange. And what? We have a best adult dating site? I should mod someone because I can't. Shh. Right. How do you... Wait. How do you block? Report? And where is... okay. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, if somebody is publicizing their own life and they get... Yeah, I was talking about... There was this rumor once about the director Makoto Shinkai being in an affair. And he had to say something. It was like it was spreading in the West, not in Japan. And one of the things that he said, like, I totally understood. Like, it's like, I don't understand why anybody would be interested in my personal life. Anyway, that's exactly it. Like, if somebody is in the public eye because they're an artist or a singer, or they're providing something that is outside of their personal life, why is it okay for the public and people who love them to demand to know, to be part of their private life and be viewers on their private lives? It's just, it bugs me. So yeah, I'm very interested about the idea of fame, people, celebrities, and people who have large followings and stuff. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between. I don't like when people tell me they will apologize or so after I tell them I found out, because they are not sorry about what they did. They are sorry. Listen, if we're gonna start talking about sorries, I'm not gonna stop, because I wrote a ton of things about the past 3 years. All I did was write essays. No, it's more like writing thoughts and journals about 2 things: honesty and apologies, because it's mind-blowing. Apologies and honesty. I have a ton of things to say in regards to that, but I need to finish lining, so. This is really fun, the chat, by the way, so thank you. Would you publish with Webtoon if they reach out to you? I don't think I can, because it's too stressful and the pay isn't good. They did reach out to me 3 times. One for I think they ran a series for Valentine's, I think, and they wanted me to write a story about friendship. I don't remember if it's Valentine, but they had this anthology or collection of stories about love, and they wanted me to write. They wanted me to draw for a story they already provided. I declined, and then they reached out to me for a story. They eventually have it as an original. It's the American Road Trip. But I couldn't make it. I told them that I can't. They kindly reached out 3rd time and offered me to, like, they left the door open if I have a story that I can pitch for them. So they were kind enough to reach out, and we talked a lot back and forth, but I realized in the end that I'm not made for it. I can't. It would be nice, but I can't. Was wondering if you'd need another mod in case Lucy isn't here. Yeah, I do need that. I just opened I crashed the stream to open Firefox to go to the YouTube channel and ban the bot. And then you sent a message, I don't remember which one, and I just like, yeah, we should moderate. Jay, did you watch what's got? Game of Thrones? That's the only one that comes to mind. Why should they be allowed to be viewers on their private lives? That sounds just like a line that needs to be in a blog post or something. Well, do save it. Send it to me on Discord so I can save it. I wonder if the interest is generated by the producers, kind of like how some instant ramen have ingredients in them that increase appetite. Well, yes, but I mean, if the producers are on the same boat as the creator, there are a lot of creators that actually want to put want to be a public figure more than just one creator or one artist or a singer, then yeah, if something happens that needs addressing, I think they should. They owe it to the fan base that followed them in their private life to address that. We can see that in the YouTube famous people. A lot of people actually stream their lives, or streamers who stream their lives. If something in your life happened, you probably should address it, because yeah, that's you made that your brand, you know? But if the producer went behind the backs of their of the celebrity and spread something that they don't want, then yeah, they should just ignore it, let it die. Got used to having a right. Yeah, I know, right? Game of Thrones. No, I haven't watched it. I hate fantasy settings. I hate traditional clothing and stuff. Not to mention that I heard a lot about the nudity in it and stuff, which I'm not really comfortable. But yeah, it's mainly the only fantasy setting I like is the one with the Lord of the Rings, of course. Never touched it because I had. It has many very mature scenes. I still haven't read Berserk. I watched the anime back in the day, the old anime. I don't know which, what year was that? But I haven't read it. Last time I was in the bookshop where I sell my stuff, they had this really fancy looking collection of Berserk volumes, but they're in hardcover, and people love hardcover. I don't really like hardcover books for some reason. But yeah, I was telling him that this looks fancy, and he's like, yeah, and it was very pricey. I told him maybe I'll read it one day, and he's like, you still haven't read it? And I'm like, yeah, I still haven't read it. I like the friendship that is in it, regardless of where it goes and how it develops. I like the idea that the creator passed away, but his best friend, who he got inspired to write Griffith and Guts by, knows a lot about the story and is gonna help continue the series. That I think I really like. What was that thing you really liked about Lord of the Rings apart from the friendships again? Well, I think back when I watched it, I didn't know what I like and what I don't like when it was released. I just watched it because it was. Back then, I liked this. I was gravitated towards it with the setting and Aragorn and Legolas. I really liked their looks. I don't think I loved the artistic process of coming up with the settings, like real settings. They build up the real settings. I love the music. So yeah, and then eventually I learned more about the writer and the story and the friendship part because I didn't know much. For real, the way I get introduced to things and how I like them and the process of me liking them, hating them, and then liking them is very messy. I can never share how I got introduced to something. For example, I really hated Fullmetal Alchemist because I hated Edward's look. Would you imagine that? I didn't play Undertale because I hated the look, so I'm very shallow when it comes to these things. Wait, I'm not gonna color this. I tried to read The Hobbit before starting Lord of the Rings, and it was slow at the beginning. The Hobbit, the movie. I didn't like The Hobbits. I didn't watch them. I started watching them and I couldn't. Nope. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Best anime manga, Hunter x Hunter. Best... I still say Hunter x Hunter because it's still ongoing. I do love... Ping Pong. In anime I like Hyoka. And Romeo's Blue Skies. It's a... you never read it. It's a very... It has a friendship in it, but it's a very mature kind of friendship in a setting that is very... What does grotesque mean? I don't want to use it like I used hilarious, for those who know the story. But it's a very... very hard times. So, I don't like the friendship necessarily, but it's a very interesting read. Griffith is one of the characters that are very, very, very interesting. I think I've talked about him before in the Discord in relation to the Eldar, probably. The other day I was at a bookshop and I was thinking that I would love to see greyis up in there. Oh my god. I'd love that as well. Since we're talking about fame and stuff, if you ask me what kind of, do I want to be famous? I actually don't want to because it's too much responsibility. But when I entertain the idea, I'd love to be, I want the fame of Sherlock Holmes or Harry Potter. They're very known, they're very accessible, but you can never meet them or talk to them or have an interview with them. That's my ideal form of fame. But I want that for greyis, definitely not me, personally. The rules don't go out formatted in the command. That I don't like. I'll have to look into that. I was drawn in by Legolas's appearance. Can't say I saw that coming. Yeah, well, back then I didn't know myself that much. I always knew what I wanted and stuff, but what I like and what I don't like, I didn't look into it that much. The more I sat down by myself, I was very influenced by what my best friend likes and that doesn't like, I guess. Even though I was like, I was in college, but yeah. Ed's looks is what drew me into it, because I thought he was a tomboy, and I really wanted tomboy main characters. Oh, I'm glad you found greyis as well. What do you like about ping pong? I like the relationship a lot. I like the art a lot. I like the hands in it a lot. But the friendship in it is just... Yeah, I love... Speaking of ping pong, I remembered. I love Haikyuu. I always forget Haikyuu. I don't know why. I love it. If it's berserk, then grotesque works. Yes. It's not just gory and graphic, but I mean, it's, you know, at times of real unfortunate events, like when you're writing a story about wars and survival, relationships, relationships are tested, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I want to say that I really love the relationship, but it's not, as a person who's writing greyis, don't expect something as feel good of a relationship as Griffith is just a really good, well-written character. I mostly listen to people telling each other what they should be. Barely ever heard anyone ask what they want to be. So people being nosy about famous people's lives. Could be people venting their suppressed anger at being compared to an ideal that they think the famous person represents. Yeah, that what happens, but it's very stupid to still, like, especially when you see that the people who are dragging someone down are adults. It's very stupid to actually think that this person is without faults. Like, we all get... You know what really, really bugs me? I remember the time around the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. Regardless of what I thought, I always loved Johnny Depp. What I hated... I can again be like Daniel, very objective. Without my feelings, putting my feelings aside, when the news hit everywhere back in, I think, 2016, 17, I don't know. I just hated, like, over and over again. We see, like, I can see when someone wants to speak out, because there's a lot of freedom when you speak out about being, about something that you've been hiding for so long. But at the same time, I feel like it's putting a lot of pressure into existing relationships. Like, nobody can be completely themselves and reach the intimacy needed between two people to be romantically involved, or even like just be that close. You can't, because when you're so close to someone, you should tell them your darkest secrets. They should see you in your worst states. But if you constantly think that this might be thrown in the public eye at any minute, if I... Like, come on, when we get angry, we slam doors, we speak the ugliest words. But if somebody is even like remotely known, even like if they're known in their college or whatever, they'd be afraid to be that vulnerable and open and just completely themselves around anybody, in fear of that darker sides of them leaking into the public when somebody wants to like avenge, or when they're just not interested anymore in being that intimate. I don't know. It's a very hard topic to discuss, because in the end, I know that it's a lot of things that are unresolved in me or people around me are because of not speaking up, especially when you realize later on about something that you were living through that is really bad. You feel really bad about being that stupid and you want to put it out, but at the same time, not everybody has the level-headedness and the realistic understanding of human behavior to know when, like, this is a lousy person, I want to tell everybody that is lousy, because there's nothing more frustrating as a person who was completely ignored by their own vet when my pet was almost dying. There's nothing infuriates me more than seeing good reviews, people leaving for the clinic, because he hurt me and hurt my pet. I'm angry because people are like complimenting him, so I would feel very good if I just say all the bad things all over the internet, but I'm not gonna do that, because whatever it is, what happened between us for some reason. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm not rambling. This is a thing I thought about a lot, so there is something building up here, but you're gonna keep going. Like, I'm saying this, but there's this disclaimer. I'm saying I believe like this, but I also believe that. So it's a very tricky subject to talk about. It's just a reply to you, Tam, that yes, I understand, like, when I loved this streamer and his friend, and I followed them a lot, and I liked their relationships, and I liked the guy, but then he turned out to be really bad, a real douchebag, and they're not friends, and it sucks, because I really loved them, and it really felt bad, but it's also unrealistic of me to take everything I see at face value. Like, this is the reality of it. Anyways, I think the friendship I liked is what I can see. Thank you for coming, Noro. Bye. It's not just about the friendship. It's really about Griffith, to be honest. And his relationships. And also Guts. Guts is... But yeah, it has a lot of mature things. And I'm coming from it as a person who only watched the old anime. Not the one that was 3D. The older one. I only watched that, and if you want, just watch that. And we'll be on the same page. I got physically itchy after writing that sentence. Relationship should be private even after it's over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it's really bad, or like there's some, we're talking about a real psychopath, I can see why would someone want to talk about it, even though I still believe you could talk about it, not privately, but the old traditional way, just go to court or therapy, or I don't know. Again, I talked a lot and I can see I can feel the silence. At least I finished this page. Streamed for 2 hours and it didn't really finish much, but it was very enjoyable, this chat. Thank you for coming to the stream. Still 7:30? Yeah, you started with daylight savings. We're not gonna have daylight savings this year. They decided that, oh yeah, we're gonna stuck with summertime. I hate it. Have a good dinner. Oh, I thank you. I hope you continue to feel peace. And when you don't, remember that I'm only human. I hope you enjoyed talking to me as well. Really appreciate it, T. And I hope you feel less stressed, eh? Thanks a lot for poking at my brain, Tam. I hope I didn't bore you with all that long speech. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.